Mamadou Bawumia, and Dr. Bawumia asked his running mates to receive the copies because it was his running mate who was deselected by Manasseh's narrative. Manasseh's narrative said, I prefer Professor Jenano Poku-Agyeman. Totally ridiculous to prefer Jenano Poku-Agyeman over Napo. As far as you're talking about education, that's ridiculous. You can prefer Jenano Poku-Agyeman on many other matters over Napo. But if you're talking about their performance as education, which is the only way you can compare the two, it's completely ridiculous to say Jenano Poku-Agyeman did better at education. But he managed to say that in his book. And then he was confronted with the person that he had deselected in his book, and we have the backstory. Hold on, it's coming. And then we will talk about Volta region, you know. Now, in Volta region, John Dramani Mahama has been campaigning. It's getting really, really interesting. After the successful launch of the Youth Manifesto, John Dramani Mahama, you can see him on the top right corner of your screen, sitting right behind me with a microphone and speaking to the people in a photograph. You can see that, can't you? Now, John Dramani Mahama visited the Volta region, and he's been talking quite a bit. His argument to the Voltarians is that the MPP have been gaining grounds in Volta, not significant, but some grounds in Volta. As a result of propaganda, they've been telling the people lies. And that's why the people are voting for them. So he's telling the Voltarians that you have been believing lies, and that's why the vote is going up. He's telling the people who voted that you voted based on lies and you didn't know. And each election, as he himself traces, in each election, the MPP vote is coming up in the Volta region. And he says, all of you Voltarians, this is lies. We'll get into the details of that one. And then there is a big story about national health insurance. You know, the other day, the National Democratic Congress tried to claim free SHS. We did our best that we could here to ward them off of such a ridiculous claim because it cannot be their project. Since then, they have not talked about it again as being their project. They've not said that anymore. They've not said that it's their project. However, they've said other things. Now, they say that the National Health Insurance Policy initiated by Kufuor is their project. And I can tell you why the NDC are doing that. And perhaps if I was their PR advisor, I may say, so that's Dr. Zaneto Rollins. The most ridiculous of statements to make as a member of parliament that NHIS was started by Flight Lieutenant Rollins, her dear father, and our dear former president. That's totally ridiculous. Zaneto should never have said that. Anyway, we'll deal with that in some detail tonight. But this is what I want to say. Because we had said that the campaign on the ground, Dr. Bawumia is campaigning on the ground and telling Ghanaians that, look at the whole Fourth Republic. NDC have not initiated any policy in the whole Fourth Republic. Any policy that has been initiated since 1992 up to 2024 is by the MPP government. NDC have had 16 years. MPP, I think, are also having 16 years now. So it's 16. And Dr. Bawumia has been campaigning saying that look at our 16 years, look at their 16 years. You will find that nothing significant in terms of policy initiative was done. Even they who call themselves socialists. No social intervention. Every social intervention you see is on the NPP side. If President Kufuor will take national health insurance and capitation grant and this and that, Akufo-Addo will take free SHS and one district, one factory. All of these social interventions have been done by the MPP administration. NDC have had nothing to offer. I think that's getting to the NDC. So they are now sort of cherry picking and saying that they had this, they had that. They started with free SHS. We stopped them completely right there. Don't even come. They have stopped. They have withdrawn from that. I mean, if this is a campaign in any place, people will see that. What are they talking about? You can't start with a claim and then you withdraw. We have browbeaten them away from lies. We are not going to allow that. And that's why tonight we are taking this national health insurance very serious. We have been digging and digging and digging. The only thing we didn't get is the parliamentary Hansard, which we will get by Monday and show you on Tuesday. But we have all the articles, all the trajectory of what has happened with national health insurance. It cannot be an NDC policy. NDC is a good party, but this is not their policy. They should be clear about that. Our work here is to do this, the synthesizing. We are not going to allow politicians to do that anymore. You don't have free SHS. Don't come and tell me you did it. You are a liar. We're going to put you right. Whether you're MPP or NDC, you say it, you are a liar. We won't agree. So we did that with the free SHS when they went to put themselves together at Kempinski and tickled themselves into sweetness and said that they did NHIS. We browbeat them. They've run away. NDC, come back today and tell me that you did free SHS. We have beaten you to run away. So stay there. Do your campaign. You're a great party. Do your campaign. And then we have no problem with it. In fact, tonight we'll be showing photographs of some of John Mohammed's campaign. Now, NDC said that they brought national health insurance. Why are we not in this country? Producer, I hope you got the tape of Miracles when he talked about how they want to do this campaign. Please, it's very, very important. I need that tape. So get that. We're going to deal with it. So tonight we have so much to deal with. Then, When we come from the break, we are going to assess the Youth Manifesto. Great innovation, I have to say. What is Youth Manifesto? It's very similar to Dr. Baumia's, he has this talk he does with the youth in all the constituencies that he goes to. But this is a Youth Manifesto launched nationally by John Dramani Mahama. I believe it was launched on Monday, isn't it? Yes, we have looked at the document, and I hope the NDC people have read the document, because I don't like coming to say things and then they don't know that it's in the document. Please, there's a document for it. Samiji, if you put a document together, we here have read every page of the document. We are ready to assess it. So when we start assessing, don't be sending text and say that, are you sure this is in the book? I will mention your name and say that you are an NDC person, you haven't even read the document. We have killed it since Monday. We are ready to assess. So join us for that one as well. Okay. So the Youth Manifesto is going to be our main story. And then RTI are here. Rights to Information. They are celebrating something and they want people to know how they work and how you can help, how you can access their services. If you want information from government people and they don't want to give you, like the way Kisi Ajabin doesn't want to give us the information that we have requested for, they're going to show us how to get it off them, how to force such information off them, and of course other things that the RTI does for the development of democracy in Ghana. Okay, so that's our bit. I hope, should I run through it again, viewers? Those of you just joined us, we have photos from NDC MPP campaign, the backstory of Napo's meeting with Manasseh, Volta region, John Mahama campaign. We'll take a break. We come to the NHIS story, and then we're going to assess John Mahama's Youth Manifesto in full detail. That's our schedule for tonight. 22 minutes past the top of the hour at 9 o'clock. This is Good Evening Ghana, and it's live. We start our political situation with Efia Kwesi-Mintim, where the Attorney General put down his wig and gown and mounted a political platform in Efia, the constituency that used to be Efia Kwesi-Mintim for Joe Bedu Ansan. How are you doing these days, Joe Bedu Ansan? Great guy, great guy. Tell him I mentioned his name on television, and I'm saying that he's one of my old bosses that I've not seen for a long time. Those days I'll sit with Joe Bedu Ansan and Cabral Blair Mehia, and you learn a lot. Giftia Fenyidazi. These were stalwarts of our profession. Stalwarts, I call them, of our profession. Giftia Fenyidazi, Cabral Blair Mehia, Kofi Kumsin, Joe Bedu Ansan. These were the Maoko Zomelo. These were the guys. Ben Efson. These were the guys. These were the guys. Joe Bedu Ansan was member of parliament for Efia Kwesi-Mintim for many, many years. These days, I don't know where he is. He went out to the Commonwealth Secretariat to do some work. He came back, and I met him the last time, a long time ago. Joe, good evening, if you are watching. But Godfrey Dame was in Efia, the constituency that has been hived off Efia Kwesi-Mintim, and it also appears to be an MPP stronghold in the Takrade area, isn't it? The Takrade area is Efia Kwesi-Mintim. They have the tourism minister at second day. Tourism minister is second day. Takrade is the original minister. That's also quite a safe seat. And then you have the new kid on the block, Charles Bissiu. He's shaking a Cicado. It's going to be massive in a Cicado for Charles Bissiu, and we all expect. History beckons, Charles. God be with you in the campaign. This was Godfrey Dame speaking at Efia.
Joe boy! Joe boy! Joe boy! Joe boy! And then the moment if you are constituency, may you add pa. Now, Mr. Chairman, regional officers, report and book in Kano, or report papa. Hey! Hey! Now, on ye, Elijah Menwo, Dembangutina, Oimido. As a crow, me door pani in Kabum, Amenhook, Demha. Now, Moyami, when me door pani, Mrs. Kujo, also in Obidna, Noricasa. Only Chede, if you are constituency, where you're current. Never break 18 now. You hear a cool, yeah. Now, as a cool, make and later. Mr. Kujo, or my colleague or cabinet. Me Manasseh Azure. Now I'm doing there. Even though we into Benya elections, no. Next year, Waba, Obijan name. Our casa did the Mommy, you know I say. Now, I'm sure that when you're in there, this is the very first time our major campaign platform was Takrade. Now, we two coming back to Takrade. Then Babo support to me, uncle, lawyer Bowman. Or a cope. Mamma Banua. Come, then we call your Bowman if you. Now, Mr. Bowman, Mr. Papa pay. What can they? Me pay one word to describe your Bowman. What will be that one word? Now, Mr. Well, I think the most apt expression to describe Lawyer Bowman there, he's a helper.
Support. Evidence base.
Fantica Sevno. Monsieur Bowman or a Boffo. Now, your Bowman, Muno or a Nero. Lawyer Bowman 30 years ago at the Saturday College. Now, Lawyer Bowman, you'll be a. Hold on. As the was some called to name him. And I played Sisu assembly home. Or Laboma, listen, how do you do it? In Mobile will be a Odomo. Inti, now, Missy, say, Eshe, we be open there, yes, Nisi, parliamentarian, MP, or a Nippon Hujma. Now, Nippon Hujma is a Hubia, Odo Nipa. Open nipa, osum nipa, obo nipa so. It's people constituency. I saw the constituency there. The same word. Other Madrid do. Then people describe Lawyer Bowman, Boafono. Sana, one man, even a better expression. Nipa.
Obo nipa.
Onyankopa
Boafo.
Boafo.
Onyankopa Boafo.
A good friend who is a helper. I mean, for me, is it for if you are meeting, if you are constituency, we need a person who will stand shoulder to shoulder with you, who will be your helper at all times, who will be your friend, and who will help you in times of need. And that person, for me, can be none other than Lawyer Bowman Yako. Choboy. TBC. Now, it is very important that MPP breaks the 8. And breaking the 8, is not for any selfish reason at all. In my view, it is simply for the future of this country. But your mama NDC for one that I know. Mama NDC for one that I crowd. Me can't show NDC for me so what? NDC a party one. Anyone present anyone a contest. Now a score 9 points or 90%. Now when you 1 point, when you score 1 point or 10%, 10%. Well, they match now 90% saying they would want the whole world to believe that their 10% or 1 point is better than your 90% or 9 points. That's it. Now, yes, since we came to power, the free SHS policy clearly involves the commitment of so much funds of state. 1D, 1F, 1 village, 1 dam, other projects. It requires only boldness, clear direction and vision. Maybe in the life of our country, we need a party which is focused, a party which has a clear vision, and this for me on. How about policy in order to coalition? How about vision in order to policy? 24-hour crime now, but you're only here. You hear a man with a vision like Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. Inti ye boy young the entire Alaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. They vote into office as the next president of Ghana. Then also, we galvanize our efforts through our weight behind Lawyer Bowman as the next MP for Ifia. Now, if you are constituency, I mean, I've been a friend of this constituency for such a long time. We can tell some of you if you are Christmas meeting. One time I say if you are Christmas meeting. But if you are Christmas meeting, no. Me and Kupa Joby Doasa was the MP. Around 2, that's good. And now I'm office squad. Around that time, 208, I don't know, now I'm a lawyer. Into this constituency, I'm a friend of yours. And I pledge to be with you. I pledge to stand with you at all times and ensure that each step of the way, I'll be with you.
That was the landed Attorney General. You know, when you grow in Commonwealth Hall, you know how to speak to audience and you know how to make a case. I think that was a fantastic delivery, very unlike his courtroom. This time he was speaking on the campaign platform and he fitted it so well. Manasseh Azure would have said he's speaking like a Kwesimintim market preacher. I think that was a good job by the Attorney General. All hands are on deck now. The election is looking very, very tight. So everyone is on the campaign platform. If you look at the NDC side, I saw Marietta Brew upon show some reels on social media. She was walking in rain wearing the NDC t-shirt. Do you think that MPP are going to win this election? Raise your hand if you think so and send me a text message. Do you think that the NDC are going to win this election? Raise your hand if you think so and send me a text message about who you think will win this election. Is really going all the way to the wire as we keep our eyes on the American election as well, isn't it? That's also going to the wire. That's 5th November. We are 7th December. Is going to be mafioso, isn't it? All right, what's our next agenda for today? Let's go and see what has been happening on the campaign with President John Dramani Mahama and Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, the MPP presidential candidates. Let's get onto the touch screen now without much ado. If you don't mind, who are we starting with? Where are we start with the flag bearer Mahamudu Bawumia? Where is this? Forward ever with Bawumia. Hey, they are stealing Kwame Nkrumah's thing. Backward never, forward ever. Those were the days of the Convention People's Party. You remember the Convention People's Party? That was an election-winning machine back in the day, led by Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. And that's what Dr. Bawumia. Let me. You know, I like analyzing the photographs. You see. Look at this woman. Hey, why is she so happy? This woman is very, very, very happy. Hey, Dr. Bawumia is in the middle of the people. Oh, he's inside. They are touching him. They are, hey, Charlie. Some people are raising his hand. Okay, let's check out. This is a security man, obviously. This another security man. I know him. This one I know him. This is a security man. Hey, they don't smile. Oh, they are looking very hard. Who is this guy in the blue cap? Is he also a security man? Wow, this is really. Oh, look at Stephen Intim, the party chairman. His head is here. I can see him. Why was this? Producer, tell us, where do you get this photograph for? Was it Eastern region? Okay, so let's see some more photographs. That is Alhaji Bawumia speaking at the park. Wow, and all these things are happening on weekdays, you know, weekdays across the country. The campaign is piping. Ghana is really a serious democracy, isn't it? This is more of Dr. Bawumia's photographs, and the people are raising his hand. Whoa, this is how they do it these days. They don't do big rallies, as they say. So they do community engagement. But why do they have two stages? Please call Sami Oku and ask him, why does he have two stages there? I think this is for question and answer. I can see some 2 chairs on this one. Is that what Dr. Bawumia does when he goes around? Does he take questions and does questions and answers? I didn't know that. Oh, okay, that's quite interesting, isn't it? All right, so okay, Dr. Bawumia is going to the women in the market areas and he's shaking hands with them. But they look at him as if they've heard about him, but this is the first time they are seeing him. They look at him as if they were not even expecting him to be there. This is quite interesting. I'm sure Dr. Bawumia has a lot to say after this campaign. He's gone through Ghana. He's met everybody. He's understood what Ghana is about. After this election, Dr. Bawumia has a lot to say. We pray, hopefully, that if he wins, then he can give an inaugural speech and tell us what he saw around the country when he was campaigning to be president for the first time. Of course, John Dramani Mahama is campaigning to be president for the second time. When you say that, NDC people say that you are doing anti-campaign, as if it's not the truth. John Dramani Mahama, my own big man, he's campaigning to be president for the second time. We all know that. Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia is campaigning to be president for the first time. I mean, I don't know why sometimes NDC people don't want us to say that, but that's the truth. John Mahama is our brother. We know he's our man. But the truth is that he's campaigning to be president for the second time. Alhaji Muhammadu Bawumia is campaigning to be president for the first time. In fact, Bawumia is a lucky guy. You know, the first time he tried the MPP flag bearership, he won it. The first time, no, he won it. Professor Dubois, he won it for the first time in 1992 in those circumstances. But since then, everyone has tried it 2-3 times. John Ajekun Kufuor ran in 1992, then he won in 1996. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo ran in 1998, and then he won in 2007. Alan Martin ran in 2007, he didn't win. He ran in 2012, he didn't win. He ran in, the one before 16 was 14, he didn't win. And then he ran again against Dr. Bawumia and lost. Alhaji Muhammadu Bawumia, first time on the ballot, was it 22 or was it 23 last year? 2023, first time on the ballot in the history of the whole MPP. First time on the ballot, Muhammadu Bawumia was elected, show like that, 60%, bam! The guy has something. The guy has something. Now, he was the odd candidate for the MPP's history. MPP's history has always had, oh, this pen too. Sorry. MPP history has always had Akans in the saddle. This is the first time they got a Mampusi guy coming in. Well, Ali Mahama tried. I think Malik Al-Hassan Yakubu tried. They are all Dagombes. You know, Dagombes are sort of closer to the NLM situation than Mampusi. So Muhammadu Bawumia was coming from outside, a complete outsider. The guy became vice president, and then everybody was excited and enamored about his work. Not just politicians, and not just his political supporters, Father Campbell, other people. Everybody has talked about Dr. Bawumia's successful achievements as vice president, as the most successful vice president in the Fourth Republic. I don't think that the NDC contends that. The NDC don't contend that Dr. Bawumia is the most successful vice president. Then the guy goes for the presidential slot. In this elephant party, the MPP depicts their symbol, the size of the party, the elephant party. MPP is a juggernaut, it's a behemoth. Everybody knows that. If you don't know that, look at the election results past years and you might see it. It might show up again in 2024, but that's an election that we're here to see, so we can't talk about it. But the NDC is a behemoth of an organization. It's a juggernaut of an organism. And so it's not a simple matter to come through the elephant, come from Mampusi, and be elected as flag bearer. First time, 60%, bam! Defeated Alan Martin, who is really at the navel of the MPP. Defeated Kennedy Japan, one of the superstars of the party. That's great. That's why I always talk about Dr. Bawumia. I said there's something about the guy. Not just that, Akufo-Addo is a very direct politician, and he doesn't keep his opinions to himself. Sometimes he doesn't hold back any punches. So Akufo-Addo is known for his views, clear views. His left is left, his right is right. He doesn't do that. So by the time Akufo-Addo got to the final third of his presidency, there were people who decided that, look, I don't like Akufo-Addo. They are there. It's MPP, that's allowed. Richard Anane is one of those people. My uncle in Kumasi, Dr. Richard Anane is Shaiso. Anane is an Akufo-Addo opponent. One day I asked people close to Akufo-Addo, Anane, why is he the old man like that? They say, oh, it is from PFP and UNC. And I said, hey, from that long time, but the old man, he wasn't UNC. He said, yeah, but Anane them hold it against him because his uncle was powerful. He wasn't UNC. But the people hold it against him. Now, today, Akufo-Addo expresses support for Alhaji Bawumia, 100%, 1,000%. Guess who is on Akufo-Addo's campaign? Guess who is on Bawumia's campaign? Richard Anane. Dr. Richard Anane, who doesn't like Akufo-Addo for political, philosophical reasons, is tied onto Bawumia's campaign. That is the magic that Dr. Bawumia carries. Recently, I was looking at social media, and many people don't know that I have such an excellent relationship with Kweku Ansansare. You notice that I didn't talk about him. I've never spoken about him. He's one of my great pals. I go to Latte. Went to Latte to see him those days. When he was director of legal education, he's my man, pa. So I was quite disturbed and worried about this Ansansare's attack on Godfrey Dame. I kept asking people, what was the problem with Ansansare? And they said, hey, who named Ansansare on Akufo-Addo? I said, sir. Say, oh, but you don't remember law school days? He said that we should stop supporting Akufo-Addo, we should stop supporting Osafo. Then I remembered. Ansansare had that conversation with me back in the day at Makola Law School. He called me and said, now Akufo-Addo, now Akufo-Addo, then Obetimi. I was looking at him, I said, yo, director, no problem. So then I remembered, okay. Now, I was looking at my phone, as I usually do, always do, Joy Online. Ansar Sari endorsing Mahamudu Bawumia. I took a screenshot, sent it to a friend of mine. I said, Charlie, this Bawumia, there's something about him that we must all learn. Ansar Sari is endorsing him. So he said, is that what you sent me? I said, look at the thing I sent you. He called me back and said, hey, but what happened? I said, I don't know what happened. There's something about Mahamudu Bawumia. There's just something about him. There's something about the guy. Ansar Sari doesn't like Akufo-Addo. Akufo-Addo begats Bawumia. Ansar Sari likes Bawumia. Richard Anani doesn't like Akufo-Addo. Akufo-Addo begats Bawumia. Richard Anani likes Bawumia. There's something about Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia that we must discover. We must discover it. There's something about the guy. I mean, look at how he has brought the MPP campaign to light. Who are these young ladies who are all over the place? Oh, this is Anod Dompress constituency. In Sawam. Yes. Aduajiri in Sawam. Dompress ni Bawumia ni. Hey, Anod Dompress, he mobilized the people. Wow. All right, that's interesting. Let's see more of the photos. Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia is lifting up the hands of Dompress. Party chairman is in the view. It's getting late at this stage, isn't it? Dr. Bawumia went to this. This looks like a school girl or so. She's in uniform, isn't she? Oh wow, this is really good. I think that the use of the Kinpaluta music has also animated Bawumia's campaign a little bit, because when people are tired and then they get on they play the music on the stage. How did they sing it? I've forgotten. Something like that. But I think it's great music, and that's also animating the campaign. Good luck to Mahamudu Bawumia, the vice president and the presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party. Now, this is the boss man, John Dramani Mahama. Yeah, you can see the boss thing with him, Charlie. This guy is a boss, man. Former president wants to be president again, then president again, president and president and president and president. Again and again and again. John Dramani Mahama also hit the streets, and here are the photographs of the Mahama people. Oh, I like this one. What are they wearing? Oh, wow. Oh, I like this. What are they wearing? Hey, but it's for what? Oh, no, I like it. But I like the design of the NDC t-shirt. It's cool. It's really cool, isn't it? Really cool. I like this guy. There's something in his mind that he's thinking about. I would like to hear what's in his mind. But these are photographs from John Dramani Mahama's campaign. These are the Mahama people lifting up their hands to receive the flag bearer. There's a guy wearing Manchester United shirt in here. Chief, Oga, young man, why are you wearing Manchester United to meet the boss? You don't do that. Okay, thank you for the Community Day Secondary School. Okay, that is inching closer to free SHS. Tonight, we have a lot to talk about the youth manifesto launched by John Dramani Mahama. We're going to go through it very quickly. Okay. This is more photographs from John Mahama. The youth are jobless and are crying. And I guess they are crying for the return of John Dramani Mahama. Hey, I like the spirit of this man. Oh, the NDC thing is nice. So they have different colors. This is also very good. Allowance for assemblymen. Hey, is that what John Mahama is promising? Allowance for assemblymen. That's not bad. Okay, this one says, wicked Akufo-Addo and Bawumia willing our nation to their family and friends. Hey, that's a serious matter. It says, wicked Akufo-Addo and Bawumia willing our nation to their family and friends. Okay. All right. Hey, I love this, man. Oh, these are nice people. But this guy, where is his Jesse? Why is he wearing a pink top? But this is good. I like the way the youth are getting interested in the campaign, and they are all following after the campaign. Adaklu welcomes the Women's Bank. Yes, that's another policy that Jenano Opoku-Agyeman has been espousing, the Women's World Bank. The youth are jobless and are crying. That's also one of the placards that was carried by supporters of the NDC to meet with John Dramani Mahama. December 7th, let's kick out these criminals, she says. Criminals in the government, they should kick them out in December 7th. That's what she's saying. The exchange rate has escaped the brains of Bawumia. Okay, that's also interesting. Operation Zero Tolerance for skirt and blouse. What's that? Why are they talking about skirt and blouse? Anyway, today I read something from Johnson Asidun Ketia. He said that the NDC expects to win the elections one touch. All right, I think we are done. We are done with the photographs of Mahama and Bawumia on the campaign. We'll be following them as we do. They have not. The NDC has still not sent us any photos. We got this ourselves from social media. So if they want to send us photos, let's do. Now, last week, last Tuesday, I talked about Manasseh Azure's book, and I was critical of his concerns about Parliament and what he said about Parliament, and I was also very critical of what he said about Jenano Pokwajiman being preferred by him to Napo. Shamelessly, Manasseh Azure decided to send copies of the book to the vice president, and I'm guessing the vice president, because he's busy, asked the running mate to receive it. This is what the running mate wrote. Have they extracted this for us? Okay, these are the photographs. This is what the running mate received. Okay. I received copies of Manasseh Azure's new book this afternoon on behalf of the MPP presidential candidate, His Excellency Alhaji Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, and myself. I used the opportunity to indicate my trust in Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia's commitment to deal with the canker of corruption, which is a recipe for good governance. Dr. Bawumia, I reiterated, has been unequivocal in his determination to fight corruption without fear or favor, ill will or malice, because of his proven incorruptibility. I urge Manasseh and the media fraternity to, however, be circumspect and exercise a great deal of responsibility in their reportage and expression of opinions as we strive to deepen our democracy. Has Manasseh seen this paragraph? Has he seen it? You write a book and tell the people that Napo that Jenano Pokwajiman is preferred, and then you are sending the book to him, expecting that what he will say, I won't receive you. No. Well-trained people don't do that. Well-trained people, they don't do that. Napo will receive you. But it doesn't mean anything. Look how happy he was laughing. Look. Manasseh, I don't understand the world there. You should go and read Brutus and Othello. Then you understand the world. You should read Othello's plays. When you read the plays that Othello did, you understand the world. Look, he's laughing. Has he read this is what Napo said. He said, I urge Manasseh and the media fraternity to, however, does he know why the word however has been put there? To, however, be circumspect and exercise a great deal of responsibility. You don't, as a journalist, come and say that Parliament people took bribe. Tomorrow, the Parliament will be looking for funding. They won't give it to them. Dr. Manasseh Azure, have you seen that? The Parliament that you have spent all your life working and to help the credibility of the Parliament, from Justice D.F. Annan to Peter Ajete to Bejina Sechi Hughes to Doa Jao, Chairman, you have been there. Today, Manasseh is seeking to explode all of that by writing a book and saying that he has been told that parliamentarians take bribe to pass ministers at the appointment committee hearings. That's what he's saying, denigrating the Parliament of Ghana so that he be made better. This is what Napo is saying to him, that you should have circumspect and exercise a great deal of responsibility in your reportage and the expression of your opinions, because we are striving to deepen our democracy. That's what Napo told him. That's what Napo didn't tell him. He was shaking hands with him, and he put this out on social media. This is written by Napo himself or produced by him. So this is very important. When as journalists you're talking or you think, that is why in some countries they don't allow every person to be a journalist. In many countries. Here in Ghana, as they say, you want to be a doctor, you have to get A in biology. You want to be a lawyer, you have to get A in literature. You want to be a journalist, go for a diploma. That's what they did to us. That's what the Obroni did to us. Go to his country. You want to be a journalist, you must come from Oxford. If you like, right now, any CNN journalist you know, Anderson Cooper, Google them, you see Harvard JD. That is one of the highest qualifications in American academia. Harvard JD is one of the highest qualifications in America. Every CNN journalist is Harvard JD. Google it right now and tell me who's done. Abby Phillips, Anderson Cooper, whoever you can mention. Harvard JD, Harvard JD, Harvard JD. Go to BBC. You will see political science, philosophy, and economics, PPE. You see Oxford PPE, Cambridge languages. That's where they take their journalists from. They take their journalists from the highest possible qualification of the land, because journalism is more important than medicine. Because medicine administers to an individual, journalism shapes opinion. And so you can't leave that. But why did a white man do that to us? He left our country and said, you want to be a doctor, get A. You want to be this, get A. But as for journalism, go and do diploma. The first journalists in Ghana were some of the highest qualified people. Kwame Nkrumah, Dr. Dankwa, William Oforiatta, they were writing newspapers. And that's how we were able to win independence for us. After that, Nkrumah too continued. Journalists who come from diploma. Why are you putting the journalist at diploma and the doctor at A and the lawyer at A and the engineer at A? You think journalism is not important? That's the photograph of our country. The photograph of our country. Now, I'm not talking even too much about myself. But the other day I had a meeting with the British High Commissioner. This was 2012 election. And I told him that I'm the only one who has covered election 2000 and is still around covering elections. Every other person has left the journalism. The people I started journalism with, zero. They are not here. They've gone to bank. They've gone abroad. They've gone to do PhDs and they are teaching somewhere. But why? I'm here because I'm a mob rower. I don't have anywhere to go. As a mob rower, I don't have anywhere to go. So I've remained in the job. And I have striven hard to attain one of the highest qualifications that we can ever get in my mob rower situation. But we have to change that thinking in our society and our community, that going forward, before somebody is accepted as a journalist, he must be able to be qualified to be a doctor. He must be able to be qualified to be a lawyer. He must qualify to be an engineer. It is only then that we can accept him as a journalist. GBC used to do that. GBC used to do that. Tommy Ananforsen told me that he worked at GBC for about 4 years before he went on air. He was going to work every day that he works at GBC. He says, friends used to laugh at it, but you work at GBC, we never hear you. Then one day they had Tommy Ananforsen. They said, wow, he had gone through 4 years of training. He had gone through the hands of Charlie Sam. He had gone through the hands of all the guys there. He had gone through the hands of Kalajiman Banaman before he became a journalist on GBC radio. Go and ask Godwin Avenogbo. I mean, why are we doing this to ourselves? We just think anybody can become a journalist? We should check that. But if we don't want to check that, no problem. As for me, when I say it, no problem. I just succumb to the majority. If the majority think we shouldn't check that, oh, no problem. Let's go ahead. It will come round to bite us. It will come round. That's what we are suffering today. Look at why must a presidential candidate say this? That journalists must be circumspect about their opinion or reportage. He says, I look forward to quickly reading the book and acquainting myself with the content therein. Our doors remain open for open and frank discussions on every subject matter that seeks to move our nation forward. And that's how the story ended. Manasseh, you should be ashamed of yourself. You are smiling and holding the man's hand and they're giving him your book. I hope that he didn't buy the books. I hope he took it for free. He didn't buy it. We bought it. Come and autograph it. You go and write that on education. You prefer Jena Nopoko Ajiman to Napo because of politics. Then you go to Napo's office and shake his hand. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. You go to Napo's office and shake his hand. You think he's going to say that he won't shake your hand so that you go and say that he's arrogant. He will never do that. He will shake your hand and collect the book. But he will tell you philosophically that you have not been very sensible. That's what he meant there. That, however, we should be circumspect. He said he hasn't read the book. But you see what he wrote, that we should be circumspect in expressing our opinions because we are building a democracy. That's what he was telling you. It's you he's talking to. It's not me. It's not anybody else. It's you he's talking to. That's your delusions of self-grandeur and wanting to be bigger than anything, so you denigrate the parliament so that you are big. That's the character that he's assessing. Shameful. Look at it. You can say this about a man and go and sit in front of him and be smiling. And the thing you said is not even true. If the thing you said is true, no problem. But the thing you said is not even verifiable. That Jenano Pokwajiman is better than Napo. It's not verifiable. Who can say that? This shoddy work Jenano Pokwajiman did at education, completely shoddy work like that? That the Ghanaians cast a verdict on in 2016 in that manner? Did Ghanaians cast a verdict on Napo in that manner? In fact, in 2020's election, and I always go back to Franklin Kujo, days to the election, he put up his Facebook post, days to the election. And he said, at the end of the day, the 500,000 votes of free SHS will matter. That's how he ended it. Everybody was checking who's going to win. They say, Okada people, John Mahama is getting 200,000 votes from Okada. Franklin Kujo wrote, at the end of the day, those 500,000 votes from free SHS will matter. The difference between the candidates, 500,000. So Ghanaians cast a positive verdict on Napo's education record. Ghanaians cast a negative verdict on Jenano Pokwajiman's record. Because of politics and hatred, Manasseh was able to say that Jenano Pokwajiman is better than Napo. Then he goes to sit in Napo's office and hopes that Napo will say something. Hey, he's arrogant. When I went to his office, he didn't even shake me. No, he's smarter than that. He's wiser than you. All he will say is what he said. Next time, be circumspect. They say in Akan, Obanyansa 4. Continue. Anyway, so that's the end of our story. When I see Manasseh happy in a post company, I admire him so much. Manasseh is such a great actor. You know, I love the guy. He's such a great actor. You can hate somebody in your heart and go, look at you. Manasseh, you have to teach me acting. I love that. Look at how he's smiling. You hate the man. Look at how he's doing it nice. I think he's a great actor. I think Manasseh is super. He's really good. He must teach us how to do these things. Hey, Fatima, are you coming in late? Okay, so we are done with that as well. Now, let's continue on to Volta region. It's 5 minutes at the top of the hour. I have a lot to say about Youth Manifesto, so we are building it up towards there. Volta region, John Dramani Mahama spoke to the Voltarians about the circumstances of the election, the circumstances of their voting. Let's have a look at it.
MPP used to get single digit in Volta region. In 2020, they have climbed and climbed and climbed, and in 2020 they got 14%. And so it means that they are making inroads into the Volta region. Now, what do? They use propaganda. MPP used to get single digit in Volta region. In 2020, they have climbed and climbed and climbed, and in 2020 they got 14%. And so it means that they are making inroads into the Volta region. Now, what do? They use propaganda.
Okay, so that was John Dramani Mahama. Sorry, I went to get a drink. I didn't know the video was that short. I saw it in the afternoon. I didn't think it was that short. So President Mahama says that the MPP is increasing its votes in the Volta region because they have been MPP have been telling them propaganda stories. That when they tell them lies and they vote for them, etc., etc. I mean, I don't know what to say about this, but viewers, you send us text messages on Good Evening Ghana Official on social media, on Facebook, actually. So, is it true that the MPP votes have been increasing? It is, but it's very marginal, isn't it? I mean, the MPP is now doing like 20% in Volta region, which is still abysmal, isn't it? But President Mahama is concerned about that and says that this is because the MPP have been telling the people in the Volta region lies. Of course, you know that the MPP the last time picked up a seat in Hohoe through John Peter Amewu. At that time, he was Minister for Energy. Now he's Minister for Railway. John P, as they call him, delivered that seat for NDC. I was here on election night when that results came. I think I was in here with Alex Segbefia when the results came in. I was telling Alex that, look, this is very complicated. The MPP is picking a seat in Volta region. And he said, I forget it. NDC has picked a seat in Wenchi. I remember that. I remember that night very well. I was here with Alexander Segbefia. Great guy, Alex. Alex, where are you? Come on, Good Evening Ghana, let's talk. Or your people say they don't want you to come. You're a great mind. Come and let's chat. Alexander Segbefia, very sharp guy. So there is another video that we found on social media. Somebody who apparently, ostensibly, is responding to John Dramani Mahama. Have a look.
Me ba o school o pe intiasi usi ba for me kase me twa bibi ade na me kasa me tumi kasa e bi se fitase na me ba okoye no ye mana tare free bibi a free ade na me kwa kasa si woja hwe fiti ye votu ma en disi enye ne eye de bi e do de ye why ya sisan adu Ade.
Until 7 December. We say Bano Yanto Mama.
So go to Mageria, go to Baumia. And one on me ba o school o pe intiasi usi ba for me kase me twa bibi ade na me kasa me tumi kasa e bi se fitase na me ba okoye no ye mana tare free bibi a free ade na me kwa kasa si woja hwe fiti ye votu ma en disi enye ne eye de bi e do de ye why ya sisan adu ya sisan adu ade
until 7 December. We say Bano Yanto Mama.
So go to Mageria, go to Baumia. And one on
is it propaganda? What is it? Uvotuma Jerry, John Rollins, now Uvotuma Baumia, now Uvotuma John Mahama, now Uvotuma Professor Mills, now Ubetimia Votuma John Mahama, but SSL vote about me because the guy says, "Na, omu kache me say, min kase mi tuya, so min tuya shi. Free SHS me de me back school min tuya shi. And then amu be kache me say, min tuya. What kind of propaganda is that? Now who kache me say min ko kan sema enye no kore. Now see free SHS no enye juma free SHS so enye juma mami pa ebo me." Frankly, Kujo, good evening. How many free SHS votes will matter in 2024's election? And I keep saying that Rawlings told John Mahama that if you don't do something about this, free SHS will continue to pant the NDC in every election cycle to come. J.J. Rawlings is dead, may he rest in peace. But these were his words. These were his words. That if John Mahama, as president of Ghana in 2013, does not do something about the free SHS policy, and for some reason he leaves, and the MPP comes someday and do it, that policy will haunt the NDC for many election cycles to come. That was 2013, 2016, 2020, 2024. We are taking it to 28. Now in 2024, NDC says free SHS is ours. Anyway, make what you want to do of it. Hello, Senator Rawlings. NHIS was not started by Kufuor. Senator Rawlings reveals. Member of Parliament for Koliklote, Dr. Senator Rawlings, has revealed that the NHIS policy was not actually started by John Kufuor, that it was started by Fly Lieutenant Rawlings. Hello, NDC. It's 2 minutes past 10 o'clock. I'm here again. My job is not to do anything else other than to stick with the truth, because I've been here. When John Mahama was sworn in as minister in 1998, I was a reporter in Parliament. I've been a reporter from that time, 98, 99, 2001, 2000. So I was there. I'm not going to allow these things. I've asked for the parliamentary hazard. My producer found that it was 31st July 2003. It was 5 p.m. when we were in Parliament today trying to get it. They said that they beg tomorrow. Tuesday, I'll bring the hazard here. But even before the hazard, I have a lot to show you. I am not going to allow it. This is the reason why God has allowed me to live through journalism from that. I will not allow it. I was there, standing there. You, Zaneto, you were not there. I was standing there in Parliament as a reporter. When NHIS fight came, I was with Do Ajaho. When the NHIS fight came, he was chief whip. I was with the NDC people. When they were complaining about they won't do the NHIS, I was there. Nobody should come and tell us that NDC started NHIS. Who told you that? That's a lie from hell. Don't say that. Maybe she's not lying. Maybe she doesn't know. Young woman, maybe she doesn't know. Not that she's lying. She doesn't know. She's not been told. Or she's been told the untruth. The truth is here. And the light of truth will always outshine the darkness. And that's what I'm going to show you on the touch screen now. NHIS is a full-blown policy of the John Ajekun Kufuor government. Please, hold it right there. NDC, you started to claim free SHS. We browbeat you and you ran away. If you like, try and claim free SHS again. Sami Jemfi, Sami Muslim, all of you, I'm challenging you. Come back and claim free SHS. You started with your flag bearer, our former president, John Dramani Mahama. We browbeat you and you have run away. Now you are started something else, like you brought some free NHIS. We are not going to allow that. If you brought something, you brought it. You brought Chiefs Compound, you brought it. You renovated Rich Hospital, you did it. You did Circle Dubai, you did it. You increased capacity in energy, you did it. You did not do free SHS. You did not do NHIS. We are here to remind you of the truth. Now, let's get it going. Good lady from Joy FM, I was quite disappointed about the interview. She was interviewing, and the person on the other side of the interview said that NDC bought free SHS. I mean, when I was doing these reports about free SHS, about NHIS, I was working at Multimedia. The report is there. All my Monday morning reports, go and look for it. Those who like me are Multimedia and those who don't like me. Every Monday morning, 9 o'clock, I did a report for Komla Dumo's morning show. It was waited for. Everybody waited for it. My friend Kofi Bame, he's watching now, Azobi. I'll be in his house at East Legon. And then we'll start typing on Saturday. And then Sunday morning, we wake up, you ask me, I don't want the story. I said, no, I'm in the middle. He said, Komla will call me, Charlie, you get story. I said, I get story. Every Monday morning, 9 o'clock, I was expected to deliver an exclusive Joy FM political story. It is there. It is in the console there. Go and ask Sam Bannerman. He lives in America. He did the recordings. It's there. Go and listen to it. and stop this. What is this? A whole multimedia journalist does not know who brought NHIS to Ghana. But there should be a blackboard in the newsroom where these things, notorious facts, as we used to call them, notorious facts about politics. In election year, that's what we used to do, 2000. Jifai Aji, where are you? Come and tell them. We put something there, we write notorious facts about politics. So when you're passing the newsroom, you can see it. 1992 Constitution is called the Constitution 1992. The first Parliament of the First Republic is called, it's all there. That's what we used to do. We did it at CTFM too. I don't know why a journalist can come and is confused about which political party started NHIS. Then why are you calling yourself independent? What does that word mean? If you are Joy FM and you call yourself independent, how then do you not know the facts? Independent is a call to intellectualism. Independent journalism is a call to intellectual journalism because you are suggesting to us, not that you are not left or you are not right, but you are suggesting to us that you are a repository of the facts. How can you sit down as a journalist and somebody comes and says, NDC brought NHIS, yeah, they did. Have a look at the video. See the video.
Health insurance scheme was started under Jerry John Rawlings.
Which?
You can check, Awal.
Which constituencies? We are all from constituencies.
Let's not argue it, Awal. Just check.
Ashanti region where?
Awal.
Where did he start?
Awal. I said check.
I should check what?
Awal, just check.
I live this era. It is not something that I should go and Google.
Awal.
Probably you were younger than but I can tell you that the national under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
That it was launched under Rawlings.
Yes.
Where?
Awal, you can check.
No, you see, I am telling you that the act started in 2003. Check the Health Insurance Act.
Well, but you can check.
I should check what?
Anyway, you can.
The law that brings health insurance that the NDC opposed was in 2003.
Quickly. You see, okay, anyway.
2003. Then we have National Mutual Health Insurance.
The launch was by President Rawlings.
Which
the launch.
year?
I'm going to get it for
Which
you. But
year did Rawlings launch
you continue.
Health insurance?
You continue.
La ilaha illallah.
No, continue.
I'm surprised that you are feeding into the propaganda of the NDC. I have listened. You promised to give me the dates that Rawlings launched the.
I was going to give. I'll give it to you. I've asked my producers to pull it, but there's actually a statement that Bagbin also made here.
No, the dates that he launched it because he said you know for a fact that he launched.
Let me finish. Bagbin said that. He said national health insurance was started during Rawlings' era. I'm quoting what Bagbin said.
No, this is still an NDC person.
Whole
so you challenge me.
Wait.
It is a challenge between you and I. You said that Rawlings launched it. I should check. And I ask you to check because I am saying that health insurance started in 2003.
I'll give you that.
Exactly.
I'm trying to pull my trousers up. Sorry.
Did you hear that? The journalist is telling the guest that he should go and check. The journalist of the newsroom, who has everything at her disposal, is not saying that, listen, Rawlings launched it, this is what it is. The journalist is asking the guy to go and check, and that's okay. The lady journalist is asking the host to go and check that Rawlings launched NHIS. Okay, let's forget about all that. You are a journalist. They are talking about NHIS. What do you do? What is NHIS? National Health Insurance. What is the policy formulation that guides it? Then we check whether there's something in Parliament, whether there's nothing in Parliament. So if Rawlings had launched it, was it then relaunched in 2003? Which Ghanaian remembers before 2003 that there was NHIS? How many seasons have we not heard John Kufuor's administration campaign that they launched NHIS? 2003, 2004, 5, 6, 7, 8 in the election year. Akufo-Addo campaigned on it, that the MPP party under John Ajekun Kufuor launched the NHIS. Professor Mills campaigned and said that they were going to make NHIS a single premium. This lady in the studio is unaware of all of that and feeds into this propaganda that Rawlings launched and therefore it belongs to NDC. And we still think it's okay, journalism is fine, yeah, it's okay, it's fine. No. When you do that, you may be aiding a political party, but you're embarrassing the profession. Because when people look at the video, they wonder, is that a journalist who is asking somebody to go and check something? You journalists, you are the repository of fact checking. That's your work. You check. You are going to ask the guy that he should check. He should go and check. Where were they? Where were they? Where were they at all? Okay, let's get to the touch screen. Is NHIS an NDC policy? Question mark. Let's get it on. This is our research. The idea of starting a health insurance scheme was raised at a meeting at the Catholic Church Hospital Administration in Sunyani in 1989. This is before the 1992 Constitution, by the Catholic Church. They were thinking about it, Catholic Church. The Nkoranza Community Financing Health Insurance Scheme was launched formally in 1992 with a founding pledge from Manasseh, a Dutch Christian non-government organization which promised to meet any expenditure shortfalls deficit run by the scheme in its first 3 years of operation, limited to Nkoranza community. This is what journalists do. This is what we did. We went to dig even before the NHIS and went to find out that before the launch of it, was there anything like NHIS? We saw it as far back as 1989. And it was by the Catholic Church in Nkoranza community in the Western region. Is Nkoranza in the Western region? Or is it in Western, Northern OT region? Nkoranza, I think it's in OT region. Please check for me. You see, I'm asking them to check. Nkoranza, where is it? Nkoranza. Oh, it's in BA. It's in BA. It's in Bono Afro region. It's in Bono region. Correct. Thank you very much. I was reminded by my mind. So we went to check, and the facts take us to 1989. What is the journalist doing in the studio? Is not checking, is not doing their work. What are they doing? That's journalists, your repository of facts. That's why I tell my people all the time, hey, we can't check, let's go. Go to the Constitution. It is provided for in Article this. Then we have a story. Without that, in fact, today I nearly didn't do this story because we didn't get the parliamentary Hansard. And they told me that, no, we have enough evidence to go, and I trust them. So I said, let's go with it. I was going to tell, let's stand down this story until Tuesday. When we have the parliamentary Hansard, then we hit so hard, and then we are credible, isn't it? 1989, the Nkoranza Community Financing Health Insurance Scheme was launched formally in 1992 with a funding pledge from Manasseh, a Dutch Christian non-governmental organization which promised to meet any expenditure shortfalls deficit run by the scheme in its first 3 years. Let's move on. The District Mutual Health Insurance Scheme that existed before Act 650 were formed as private entities, not by government. Private entities came together and formed something like a district health scheme so that they all contribute some money within the district. Private people. I think they were trying to mimic what happens in America with private health insurance. Government had absolutely no role in it. And it didn't happen across the country. It wasn't a national policy. And it had nothing to do with government, nothing to do with NDC, nothing to do with J.J. Rawlings, everything to do with the Catholic Church sitting in Rome and with branches all over the world, including in Nkoranza and many other places. This is what happened. This is the fact of the story. Nothing more, nothing less. So anyone who comes because it's election 2024, why hasn't it been part of the NDC's conversation? Forever, the MPP have been claiming national health. It's never been part of the NDC's conversation. Suddenly, there's election, so they have to deceive people. So, hey, we brought national health insurance because the campaign of they have never done any policy for Ghana is hitting hard at their feet. It is becoming an Achilles heel. It is becoming a Trojan horse. So they are trying to fight it, and they don't want to fight it with truth. They want to fight it with lies. No. They can lie to 1 billion people. We will be here to speak the truth because I was there in Parliament. I was there. When everything was happening, I was there. I was sitting there. We will not allow that. We're in Parliament when NDC were walking. I won't take a national insurance. Kufuor should go to hell with it. I was there. Why? Ofoso Apia, Doa Jaho, Abambagbin. I was there. Nobody should carry that. Always keep quiet and sleep somewhere. Don't come and disturb us. If you were in Ireland learning medicine and you were not reading Ghanaian newspapers, don't come and tell us something you don't know. You were in Ireland. You didn't read Ghanaian newspapers. You were reading the Times of London and you were reading about Gordon Brown. So read that one and Peter Ferguson. Keep that one. We were here. I was in the Parliament. I was sitting there. What are you telling me? I mean, so outrageous. I called some of the senior journalists. Do you remember they say I was there? I said, why do you know what NDC is saying? They said, for these people. We were all there in the press gallery. We were there. NDC walked out not once, not twice. They walked out all the time. They said they will not listen to any national health insurance conversation inside Parliament. Forget about that. Even if you were not there, and many people were not there, I understand that. Throughout the political narrative in Ghana over the last 10 years, NPP have claimed national health insurance. Professor Mills came in 2009 and promised that he was going to do a one-time premium. He failed miserably. The one-time premium was never realized. They've kept quiet about that as if they think we have forgotten. We have not forgotten. Lee Okran, standing on Professor Mills's platform, promised one-time premium. Professor Mills himself, the law professor, said that he was going to implement a one-time premium for NHIS. What happened to it? Zero. And then you started talking, my father launched for NHIS. Please, your father, we respect him. Stop that. Don't spoil his name. He's our father for all of us. He's your father, but he's also our father. So please, leave that alone. Let's move on. The National Health Insurance Scheme was started by Kufuor's government with the passage of an Act of Parliament, Act 650, in 2003. The Act recognized 145 district mutual health insurance schemes, DMHIS, formed in each district and supported each DMHIS with funds from the National Health Insurance Fund, NHIF, created by Act 650. Thank you, Mr. President. God bless you. You have done something for Ghana that other presidents cannot say. After you spent 2 terms in office, we can say that national health insurance was not there before you came. Now it was there after you left. Thank you. And God will always remember that for you, Mr. President. And let's no politician come and lie. And let's no ignorant journalist sit on radio and tell somebody to go and check. Look at the ignorance of the statement. Go and check. What kind of ignorance is that? Embarrassing journalism so much. And making everybody laugh at us as if we don't know what we are about. But we know what we are about. Don't we know? We know what we are about. What kind of ignorance is that? What did NDC do when it came to national health insurance? Good evening, John Dramani Mahama. Have a good campaign. Let's move on. What did NDC do? 13 July 2003, minority boycotts proceedings on health insurance. The minority in parliament decided to boycott further committee proceedings on the national health insurance, which began on Tuesday. According to them, their decision is blah, blah, blah. Even at the committee stage, NDC were boycotting it. Committee stage, they boycotted it. They said they won't listen because they were told by their bosses that work out of the parliament won't agree. More to come. Okay. House passes insurance bill despite widespread protest. 27th August 2003. The story goes as follows. It's by Linda Akresi, the Ghanaian Chronicle, Accra. Parliament yesterday passed the controversial national health insurance bill into law in the absence of the minority who boycotted the debate on the bill. The House voted 103-0 to carry the motion after the Health Minister, Dr. Kwekwe Efriye, read it for the 3rd time. The bill saw a lot of amendments during the week-long debate. The National Health Insurance Law replaces the cash and carry system introduced by the previous government. Do they think that we are asleep? Do they think that we are asleep? Have they read this article? Shamima Muslim, Sami Jenfi, Felix Ofosu Kwache. Have you seen this? Don't bring those your things here. Do your campaign. You added capacity. Do that one. Nobody will begrudge you. Don't come and tell me that you the free SHS is for you and national health insurance. Don't be grabbing, cherry picking the good policies and grabbing it that is for you, is for you. It's for you saying. How did it become for you? Yours is adding capacity. Yours is Atuabo gas plant. Yours is Circle Dubai. Yours is Rich Hospital. Yours is Chip Compound. Say those things and hope that the Ghanaian people will vote for you. But don't come and claim something that was not, that's totally untrue. As long as we were there, we always point it out. It is untrue. It's a lie from hell. And Janet Rollins, shut up. Keep quiet. Don't be saying those things. Something you don't know about. We all love you because you are JJ's daughter and you are Madam's daughter. So we love you. We loved you from the time you were showing up at Independence Square at age 12. You were looking so nice with your sisters and you were supporting your father. That's so beautiful. And that's why the people of Korle Klottey have voted for you. Don't get into the propaganda of lies. Your father never told lies. JJ was abrasive. JJ was butu-butu. But JJ never spoke lies. JJ Rollins, he wasn't one of those politicians who says lies. Something is not true, he says it's true. In fact, that's what he hated about politics. That's why he didn't like politics. He hated that. So you are JJ's daughter. Don't come and be talking those things. Where did you learn that from? Your mother is not like that. Your father is not like that. Where did you learn these lying things from? Are you learning it from some people who are sitting by you at the party or something like that? Stop that thing. Stop that. You're a decent woman. Stop. Zaneto, stop that. You are too decent for that. Stop that. Don't be lying. The lying, leave it for the people who do the lie. You are too decent. But J.J. Rawlings' daughter, I've never heard J.J. Rawlings speak anything that's a lie. J.J. is abrasive, he can be abusive, he can shout, he can be this and that. What you see with Rawlings is what you get. That's all. You know, that day he was fighting with me. He said, hey, this small boy, everything he said is true. I'm a small boy to him, far small. Or so he can't say, it's okay. But J.J. will not say something that's untrue. He doesn't do that. And you, Zaneto, you can't say, even J.J. Rawlings is here today, J.J. will not say that he launched national health insurance. He won't say that. Please. Anyway, madam, get your act together. Get your act together. You'll do well in journalism, but please get your act together. Don't follow this propaganda. Just do verification, fact check, get the thing right, and then you can move on. Anyway, all right. I'll take a break now. No, before the break, let's see what people are saying on text messages. Who am I starting with? Anzaba, you start, and today I have 5 text message editors.
Thank you very much, Paul. Okay, from Agnes, she's saying NHI was started by the Catholic Church at the Catholic hospitals in Nkoranza and Damongo as well. As a national policy, it was in 2003 under Kufuor. Mashud says, politics is supposed to be a game of ideas, but the NDC looks clueless when it comes to policy enactment. I'm worried Ghana may soon become a one-party state. NDC is doing a great disservice to the country. NDC should be a capable alternative, but is doing the opposite instead. Kusi is saying, this is Manasseh that said, this is the Manasseh that said he does not feel safe under the government of the NPP. But look at how he is smiling in the presence of Napo. Lastly, from Isaac Boafo, he says, even these days, the so-called critical journalists in the city are disappointing with skewed discussions. It's very pathetic how journalism standards are deteriorating. Antoinette, what do you have for us?
Still on the NHIS campaign launch in the Volta region, Muniru Yaro Paul, he says, good evening, Paul.
We in the Volta region are much concerned about this year's election. We are going to reward the NPP with our votes for bringing development to our doorstep, which our own NDC denied us. Come to Volta and see the roads, modern states of the UHAS Phase 2. God will bless Bawumia with the presidency in 2025 and beyond. Now to Kweku Opoko, he says, the youth manifesto of JDM is a scary scam. They ridiculously tried using social media influencers to whitewash their non-policy alternative for the youth. Kojo Sheldon has exposed Pablo and his folks, a political party that cannot even explain its own policy. Free level 100 fees. Please do not pay attention to them. Now, Ms. Jerry says that the NDC know they have no ideas and policies. The only way the NDC can win votes is through tribal politics, propaganda, insults, and attacks. They simply hope things become difficult so that people vote out of anger and not out of policy. Now, Ransfield says it's very ridiculous how the former president perceived Ghanaians to be. He wasn't going to introduce the free SHS on the whimsical promise of a desperate politician, but today is the same person first saying to pay the first-year student fees at the university. The product of the whimsical promise of free SHS will now be the proponent, the no free stress policy, he says. Kweku Opoko says that the political dynamics in the Volta region are changing. The NPP has gained very significant grounds. The NPP's message and tactics are seriously moving the NDC to the bush. Infrastructure and human developmental projects have gained grounds, so the NDC has no grounds at all. And lastly, Junior Akbar, all the way from Tamale, says, I don't understand this, our former president. I always maintain and submit that the good people of this nation are not ready for you. Ghana must move forward with a great leader, a critical thinker like Dr. Bawumia. Nothing can change it. Ghanaians are ready to vote DNB as our next president, and he adds it is possible. Ella.
All right, so this one is from Justice Montana. He says, Nkoranza is in Bono East region. This is actually where the Catholic Church had the health insurance running in the community for a long time until President Kufuor adopted it and made it national policy in 2013. During the passage of the NHIS bill in Parliament in 2013, the NDC minority staged a walkout in protest of the passage of the bill. NDC never again. This one is from Aisha too, she says, she is very annoying. And she's very annoying, and you can tell by the way she's asking Awal to fast check himself. Kojobachi says, honestly, if one day I abandon all hope for Ghana's future, it will solely be due to the utter gullibility of those who continue to blindly follow people like John Dramani Mahama, the former president and flag bearer of the NDC. His deceitful nature is appalling, and it is a travesty that anyone steals forth for his false promises and manipulative tactics. Mahama's leadership has been a failure, and his persistent dishonesty is a cancer that is eating away at Ghana's potential progress. This one is from Derek Jr. He says, I can understand the frustration of Paul. This is so hard to watch, even for me, who is not a journalist. Wow, completely clueless display of ignorance by the journalist. I cringe so hard. Every Tuesday and Thursday, most of us have been quite fortunate to be at the receiving end of a show of fidelity and data on this show. But for Paul, this has been our faith, utter ridiculousness in the media space. Go ahead and check indeed. That is why I take pride in being a true affiliate of the mighty Paul Adum Oche and Good Evening Ghana. Only your way is true. This one is from Joseph. He says, Paul, God bless you for your truth. And lastly, Efia Yeboah says, NDC is always against all the good policies in this country, and I don't know why. Angelo.
Run through these briefly. Tawfiq Kwachos from Kete says, good evening to you all. Paul, do you know that Manasseh is from my hometown, Kete? He continues, he's one of the few journalists we have, but he's letting us down with his conduct. This is according to Tawfiq. We have Nite from Kwashiwan saying, Brother Paul, please educate me. Is it Odododiodio or Odododiodo? Well, we'll leave that. Kabir C from Secondary says, fascinating. Those who could not provide common chalk run multiple destructive adverts against free SHS, phased out the training allowance that cushions the ordinary, and left some colossal arrears for their so-called progressive free SHS, and now preaching free academic fees for level 100 graduates. No, I think you mean students, level 100 students. Ghanaians must be cautious with the NDC's emotional appeals, propaganda striking slogans, and cheating games. This message says, good evening, Paul. For your eyes only, i.e., RE, the NHIS debates. Ever heard of the Otu Committee circa 1994 or 1995? Okay. Major One says, Paul, please note that we don't have a candidate yet for this year's election, so kindly refer to ex-President Mahama and Vice President Bawumia as presidential candidates. He's raising a point on nomenclature. He continues, they are simply presidential aspirants. They will only become candidates after the EC opens nominations. They filed to contest, and the EC clears them to do so. Thank you. Right. Ahmed says, the National Health Scheme was rolled out as a trial in Infantiman, Salt Pond. My firstborn is 19 years and benefited from it. John Ajikunkufo acknowledged the community trials in then BA region by the Catholic Church as social health support. Mar from the US says, it's just sad political parties are claiming what they opposed earlier. Wait till Sami Jamfi tells the whole world it was the NDC that attained political autonomy for Ghana in 1957. That would be a banger. Two more from Takaradi. This says, good evening, Paul. Please, the lady, she's an NDC member. I watch every morning. Her line of questions tell you where she is from. This is Ishmael saying this. And lastly, again, Tawfiq from Ketsakrach. He says, please, Paul, John Mahama and his NDC are simply being selfish. They can make up to 30% in Ashanti, but the MPP must not make progress in the Volta region. Anyway, Fatih, let's hear from you.
All right, thank you. So this is coming from Master Planner Jr. from Kentampo, and he says, Awal Muhammad is a top-notch communicator. May Allah increase him in knowledge and wealth. Now, Master Planner here says, why is the NDC now claiming the initiation of the NHIS? Is it that they don't have any campaign messages? Ghanaians don't have short memory. Nash Ghana says, NDC is playing with the minds of Ghanaians. He is still of the surest conviction that Ghanaians indeed have short memory. You know, Daka says from Pudong to our check. Alexander Sefa says, NDC have seen the heaviest defeat ahead of them. Therefore, they have resorted in personal attacks and propaganda. Ghanaians have seen former President Mahama's track records and he has nothing good to offer. Therefore, we reject him 100 times. We've seen what he's done. And then lastly, coming from Champion, he says, any good policy in Ghana is their policy, but they were seriously campaigning against it. NDC is very dangerous. Now back to you, Paul.
Okay, we'll take a break. When we come back, then we get to our main big story, which is the Youth Manifesto. What's the time now? It's 10:30 in the night. Thank you for continuing to join us late in the night. We have just half an hour to go. We will get you to sleep. Tomorrow is Friday, though, so you don't have to sleep early, do you? We have a lot to share with you tonight. If we have time, we'll do sports, but we also have the right to information people in the studio. We'll be talking to them in a bit after the break.
Are you looking to own a prime piece of litigation-free land where you can put up your dream family home or your ideal getaway retreat within a luxurious estate? Then look no further. Welcome to Rehoboth Hills, where your dream of hassle-free land ownership comes to life. Acquire land devoid of multiple purchases, litigation, and land guard issues in a safe and secure gated community while enjoying the fabulous night view of Accra from the serene Ebri Mountains. Rehoboth Hills offers spacious plots that provide you with the ideal setting for your dream home and a valuable, safe investment for your future. The lands are located in the prime area of Ayarifa within our residential development Rehoboth Hills, overlooking the city of Accra and the Ebri Mountains. Our prices are very affordable and designed to fit your budget. We offer flexible payment terms, ensuring that you can invest in a valuable asset for the future. Contact us on 0244 764 499 or 0204 950 810 or visit our website at www.rehobothpropertiesgh.com. Rehoboth Properties, quality housing for all.
Ago Ganaman, within some defi kwa ejumekuo nchen emmamo. Yedi kwa mixture baye, muji tumu kama. Afe yedi fofraba, kwa plus mixture, and kwa empty mixture. Kwa mixture ebwa, ama onipidwe nya hoden no. Na kwa plus mixture, inso ebwa immune system. Fa kwa mixture, and kwa plus mixture, fa bwa wapumudei. Afe inso, yedi malaria drop atahwe abedwaso. Yedi di kwa empty mixture. Kwa mixture, kwa plus mixture, and kwa empty mixture, enye ma pimfo, emma omuma kolanofo, eni nkola, omundi mfie dumienu. Hwese, why test? I chese o malaria mo wanu bi ewo mojemu. Ansa na wafa kwa empty mixture. Opedudu etua. Fre kwa ejumekuo no ewo 0244 726611 ana 059 165 5778. FDA aji egredient kratoyi ato.
Now let me tell you why you should choose Safari Valley as your conference destination.
The new conference building combines modern amenities with the tranquility of nature, providing the perfect backdrop for your next seminar and corporate retreat.
The only conference destination with so many activities, you don't have to travel to visit your tennis club, the gym, or the stables. They have it all.
Enjoy this rooftop viewing deck, basking in the sunlight with the sight of wild animals roaming freely in their natural habitat.
At my break, I'm able to practice my putting.
It's a unique experience that sparks creativity and rejuvenates the mind.
Visit Safari Valley Eco Resort in Ghana, bringing you closer to nature.
Krachi, unemu bua unkoisha Dr. Ban uye denwa.
Oh, mesi ya mfano kwa mami buru wa.
Mami ko buru. Ko ni atele be ko bra. Mumi mfano ko Dr. Ban ho.
Dr. Ban o ya de.
Bra, se ban no mpemu adwuma sasabro slow Dr. Ban o ye.
Hey, kemi kwa na meka. Oh, no mpemu ni mdi onu ana ye expert nya zanfo no. O akra eni kumasi no mpemu expert yen kan kire wo.
Blast. Boom. Exclusively on Betway. Win up to 300% more when you play Fly X with Win Boost from Betway. Betway, get way more.
So what about what you
Yeah, this is my secret.
Give us P capsules. Emma, I want to go from now on to me to my ding one pen. Give us P capsules. Over do us, Mama. Oh no, enemy lawyer.
Ah, and to lawyer no na show bottom. Are you bro? Are you bro? Say na pon me see ba bet ya mo a ese ni die.
Bosano.
Oh no. Ni ge na fi waka wo. E fe ni give us co capsules. Say yes si yare na wo so ko di du ni pedwem wani na wo posa amaman entimi ma wunja wo nan yi. Wonum give us co capsules a. Obey free.
Lawyer.
Give us co capsules.
And I give us P capsules.
Hey, and they give us free.
Obey Chinasuma.
And men what if you do what you do, Cronkwan, give us core capsules. A pin for a batter, one more menu for one and Quadawan if you do me an
Yeah, and now you were back in Greece. To say, why you fit a millionaire? Yes, the luckiest at Aroma. To say, about from Manasseh Azure. Yeah. Now check this. Sister Abna, aka Kobe Hima. The luckiest at Aroma. Queen B.
Yeah.
Boss lady back up there. Hold on to your seats, folks. Such anyway, it'll be you smooth. Way enter your friend will upgrade. Luckiest Aroma. And the best part, that with the luckiest, Obia or a shot to a good life. And I'm talking to you, me, your girlfriend, your ex, your neighbors, your landlords, and even Goro boys. And no one is over dialing with lucky number. Star 712 hash. No.
Oswaldo ticket to win in the community draw or the grand draw on the 30th of November 2024. The luckiest is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform, not for persons below 18 years. TNCs apply.
Show and few amendments to our production is 20 minutes at the top of the hour. We'll take the RTI interview and our thesis, or if you like, the antithesis on the youth manifesto will come in our next edition of the show. Already, I'm getting heavy text messages from so many people. One is just coming in. Oh, Uncle George, Colin Clotte, thank you very much for watching. We are delighted that uncles like you are watching and supporting us in prayer and supporting us with the high morale. Thank you very much. Well, we have barrister at law, solicitor at the Supreme Court of Ghana, the distinguished lawyer Sapon here. He leads the RTI Right to Information Commission of the Republic of Ghana. He's the commissioner. Is that the
executive secretary?
Executive secretary of the Right to Information Bill. Okay, so what are we celebrating at this time?
I think that it's been almost 4 years of the implementation of the Right to Information in Ghana. since the passage of the law in 2019, and the world marks the universal access to information, which is part of the UN universal rights of every human being. Every year on the 28th of September across the world. This time around, UNESCO that leads this exercise is partnering with the Ministry of Information and the Right to Information Commission to host it here in Ghana on the 1st and 2nd of October 2024. Last year, the year before it was held in Azerbaijan. Last year it was held in Oxford. And this year we are hosting it. So,
so other right to information commissions are coming to Ghana.
Going to be here in Ghana, yes. And I think that it speaks volumes that Ghana, you know, we just got onto this implementation quite recently, but we have made some strides, and that is why Ghana has been selected to host this year's IDUI, which is the International Day for Universal Access to Information.
International Day for Universal Access to Information.
Yes.
Okay, how does the Commission ensure the implementation of Act 989 in Ghana? What is your role?
So the Commission basically is a regulator with the objectives of promoting, protecting, monitoring, and enforcing the right of access to information. So these are the four main objectives of the Commission. We ensure that the right of access that the Constitution provides in Article 21, Paragraph 1F, is actually implemented to the core. Every citizen in Ghana has a right of access to information, and it is created by the...
So it's not just journalists?
It's not just journalists.
Any citizen?
Any citizen. And indeed, it's
including a government worker?
It goes beyond citizens of Ghana. If you come out, or if you come into this country and you are a person, you are entitled to have access to every information.
But is it about government institutions only? Can somebody write to Metro TV and say, I want to know X, Y, Z?
It's about public institutions and private institutions that offer a public function and receives public resources.
What is public resources in that context?
So
taxpayers' money.
Taxpayers' money in whatever form, or the fact that you are working, your doors are open to the public. For instance, if you're a bank, you're open to the service to the public, and therefore we can question what you do that affects the public. So if you like,
so can you question a bank on why did the board make this person managing director? You want to know the board decision that went into selecting a managing director, or is limited to something that has to do with public? Why are your checkbooks black?
So if it has to do with the private functioning of a bank, we may not have that right of access to that information. But when it comes to functions of the bank that affects the public, then we can question.
Why do you close your banking hall at 2 o'clock?
If the citizen is interested in knowing that, you can ask the question.
Can a public
if the bank has
servant
no trouble in answering that, why not?
Can a public servant ask for information?
Yes.
So can a soldier of the rank of sergeant ask something about what is happening in the Chief of Defense Staff's office? And
Sure.
He's entitled to be told.
If he's entitled to be told under the law, and there's no exemption in that regard, he will be told.
No, is he required by his role as a soldier under command not to be able to access his rights under the Constitution for information about the military?
So there's no restriction on whichever agency in Ghana, for instance. So you cannot say because I'm national security and therefore the law does not cover my institution. This law covers every institution, including the presidency, national security, the military, and every agency. What the law protects is actually a certain category of information that at a particular time may not be given out, depending on its nature.
Like what?
Like for instance, if you go into the Act, it says under public safety and security, there are certain classes of information that may be exempt.
Who makes that determination?
The law has set the criteria for that exempt information.
Who interprets that? The court?
The court, the Right to Information Commission, has been given some discretion.
So the first level of interpretation is the commission?
Yes. No, it's actually the public officer who has a duty to determine whether it is within the law to give out that information. When he makes the determination and the party is not satisfied, then you can go to the Right to Information Commission, or you can then move on to the courts.
I see. So, if in the opinion of the president, a right to information request falls within the exemptions, that's not where it ends. The president is not the final arbiter on the matter.
No, the president is not the final arbiter. It comes to the Right to Information Commission, because a party may have complained with how information that they had requested had been treated, and they are not satisfied. The law requires that you can come to the Right to Information Commission, make your complaint, we look at it and determine whether you should actually get that information, or we can agree with the president not to give out that information.
So how does the process work? Do individuals apply directly to the institution, or they apply to the commission for the commission to tell the institution that Mr. So-and-so is looking for this information, can you give it to them? How does it work?
So every public institution is required to have an information officer who is the facilitator of access to information. When you require information, you apply at the particular institution you deem to have the information you are looking for. So
if they don't have an information officer?
No, you don't. So the law makes provision for a designated officer
to receive these things,
to do this, even if you don't have an information officer. And it's not an excuse to say I do not have an information officer and therefore I'm not able to give out the law. In fact, I'm hopeful that by the end of this year, the regulations to the act should be out. We have engaged with Parliament and it gives more details.
Oh, we are not doing the regulations?
Yes. So the law is quite comprehensive.
Okay.
The regulations are to add to some little processes that can help, iron out some of the, gray areas that the law usually will not make provision for. And that's what we have progressed so much on. Very hopeful that this parliament will be able to pass it as soon as possible.
3 months of the parliament's life left.
You only need 21 days to lay regulations.
Yeah, okay. So you should be getting it this month. Otherwise, hopefully, you're running out of time.
We are done with all processes. We are waiting.
Why is it not designed so that the ordinary citizen need not spend stationary money on this process by just telling the commission that I want to know from the GMPC whether they have done this or that, that the 13% carried interest of tallow oil, have they deposited it in the custody of the Bank of Ghana? Why must the individual then find paper, maybe find a lawyer, pay money for that? Are we not putting difficulties in the way of the individual to be able to give the law its fullest expression? Why doesn't the individual just come to the commission with branches all over and give the information to the commission writes to GMPC? So that all request is coming from the commission.
So the commission is more or less a regulator for the space. We do not hold the information and we do not request for the information on behalf of people. I think that it is your right as an individual to access information, and therefore we should not channel that right into through another vehicle. You should be able to exercise it by yourself.
But it costs money.
No, it costs money, but it is actually the cost of the reproduction of the information. Not
how you apply. You have to write a paper.
Oh,
you
not
have to get a lawyer to draft it.
The law makes provision for you to even make an oral application
by a phone call.
If you go there and you are able to identify yourself and they want to know what information you're looking for, you can make it orally, and then the information officer is under duty under the law to reduce what you have said in writing. So you do not necessarily have to even know how to write. You can say it in a language of your choice, they'll reduce it and they'll process the information for you. The law is such that it has made it easier for you to have access to information. Yeah.
So if the institution, public institution, Metro TV or Jubilee House does not respond, what do you do?
So the law says 14 days, if you do not receive any response, you have a right to treat the non-response as if you had been denied access to information. And you can complain at the commission, and then the commission will take steps to invite the other party and look into the matter and get you what you're looking for.
So you have to file a complaint to the commission?
Yes, but you don't
That costs money?
No, it doesn't cost any money. It's free. The state has already paid for the services of the commission. So it has put in place staff to assist you. You don't need to pay a lawyer. It's a very simple process. Okay. All you need to do is to complain, and then you are the steps are taken to ensure that you have the responses you are looking for.
Great. So over the last 4 years, what have you observed? Is it just journalists who are asking, or ordinary people are asking? How's it going?
I think it cuts across. Students are asking, journalists are
What
asking.
questions are students asking?
Most of them are the research kind of questions that will help them in their research work in the institutions. This law is, like I said, not for journalists, even though they are one of the good users of the law. But there are ordinary citizens who have become, self-styled journalists as well, and who are looking to dig out information that will help straighten our public institutions. So it's been a law for everyone. And I think that it was one of the boldest decisions of the president of this republic currently to actually move that Ghana was at the point where we needed such a law. And it's worth mentioning that President Akufo-Addo was about the boldest politician in the Fourth Republic to have allowed this law to be passed.
Who are the, which other countries have it, at least in West Africa?
In West Africa, Liberia has it, Nigeria has it, Cote d'Ivoire, Gambia, among others.
Nigeria has it?
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
But across Africa, you have about 26 countries who are on board with the access to information laws.
And in Europe, how does it work?
So there are model laws that most of these countries draft their laws around. Yes, and I think that what we are doing here is basically one of the highest ranked. In fact, Ghana's law is ranked higher than the laws of Canada in respect of freedom of information.
I see.
Yes.
Canada?
Yes.
Does America have it, or is America
America
federal, state by state? Do you have a federal one?
They have a federal one.
And each state has it, or some states?
I'm not very definite about that, but once the federal has it, everyone will sync with it.
So, in your estimation, how has this been adding to our democracy? What has it done?
I think that it has given more people the chance to participate in the democratic arrangement. We ask questions that hitherto, when you ask, a public servant will tell you, I'm under oath not to disclose this kind of information. But this law makes it such that whatever oath you have taken does not override this law.
Oath of secrecy of cabinet members?
No, the oath of secrecy of public servants.
Including members of cabinet, which is in the second schedule of the Constitution?
In this law, cabinet information is exempt.
Is exempt?
Yes. So
what is cabinet information? Is it any information that comes to my disposal as a member of cabinet minister, properly so called?
So if,
or is it when I go for cabinet meetings that the conversations at the meetings are exempt? Because if I'm minister of X and you call me and say, oh, it's cabinet information.
Okay, so with your kind permission, if I may read from the law.
Yeah.
It says information relating to cabinet is one of the categories. That's the heading. This is section 6 of the Right to Information Act, Act 989, 2019. Information is exempt from disclosure where information A is prepared for submission to cabinet or submitted to cabinet for the consideration, or B is at cabinet, not published or released to the public, and C contains matters the disclosure of which would reveal information concerning opinion, advice, deliberation, recommendation, minutes, or consultation made and is likely to 1. Prejudice the effective formulation or development of government policy. 2. Frustrate the success of a policy by premature disclosure of that policy. 3. Undermine the deliberative process in cabinet. Or 4. Prejudice national security. And then 2. Information which contains factual or statistical data is not exempt information when it comes to cabinet. If it's a matter of record or statistics, it is not exempt information. Cabinet may establish or grant access to information that is otherwise exempt under this section. And for the purpose of this section, cabinet includes a committee or subcommittee of cabinet.
But that's very wide.
Yes.
And broad.
But it is the same across the world. Because, of course, every state has information that you must not.
So that if you go to a minister and you want that information, so that this information has gone to cabinet, it's exempt. That's it, it's exempt.
No, so I think that the law gives a certain wide consideration to say that the policy may have been presented to cabinet and is likely to affect the implementation of the policy if it is disclosed.
Yes, but
but if you are
that's
dissatisfied,
the discretion of the minister.
Yes, but if you are dissatisfied, that is why there's a procedure for review, that you bring it to the commission, which has a board that will look at that decision of the minister and determine whether it is within the right to say so.
But if the commission says the minister must give the information, he yet can go to court.
Yes, you can go to court.
To the High Court?
Yeah, for a review of our decision.
And from there to the Court of Appeal?
Definitely.
Supreme?
To Supreme Court.
And to review?
Yeah, of course. The
That's
Right to
process.
Information Commission is a quasi-judicial body, more of an administrative one. But
so can it subpoena?
Yes, we can. We have the powers of the court to subpoena and to order the production of information.
Failing which, what happens?
I think that we can apply to court. If we have the powers of the High Court, then we can apply to court to enforce these,
But what is the penalty for a public office holder that fails to heed to the commission's insistence? Actually, a public officer can also go to court against the commission.
A public
can also go to court, yes,
holder
who you are
not.
trying to compel.
The organization may, but not the individual.
Yes, organization is what I'm talking about. They can also go to court and say, we do not agree with the RTI commission.
Definitely, you can. Definitely, you can. But that is the beauty of law. I mean, no one is final until the court says so.
So how are you funded?
The government of Ghana is the sole funding agency of the Right to Information Commission.
Therefore, the Minister of Finance?
Yes.
But that will compromise your work. Because the right to information
then every work in this country would be compromised because we all get our sourcing from the Ministry of Finance.
Yeah, you're right. Including the judiciary.
Including the judiciary.
Which must rule against the government sometimes. But you are smaller than the judiciary and younger.
Definitely.
So you can be bullied.
I mean, we have apostles like you around who fight for the rights of institutions that help the cause of democracy.
It's very, very important.
Yes.
Let me see what people are thinking about our conversation at 1 minute to the top of the hour at 11 o'clock. Anziba, what are people saying? What questions do they want to ask the commissioner?
Thank you very much, Paul. From Akwesi Echampon, he says, can an individual ask for information from radio and TV stations since they are using frequencies granted by the state? Isaac Ado is saying, please, Paul, you are not telling us anything about your RTI bill to the OSP. Please update us on it. And lastly, from Nixon, he says, please, Apostle Paul, please ask him about your request to the OSP office, which hasn't been granted as at now. Thank you. Over to you.
Nixon still thinks that, no, please hold. Yes, Gastiman says, the bill actually is just paperwork and it won't work anyway. In any case, what are the procedures for acquiring this information as has been stated by him? Ella.
Right, so this one is from Bawa, and this one's from Bawa. He says, good evening, Paul. I think the Right to Information Act is a good one, but we also need a law which will allow every citizen to be able to report a public official, for example, report a police officer or someone in the Lands Commission, etc., for doing something wrong. Those are the questions we have. Over to you, Paul.
Okay, so say the question again. Let's the commissioner take it.
Yes, so this one is from Sharif, and he says, I think that the Right to Information Act is a good one, but we also need a law that would allow every citizen to be able to report a public official, for example, report a police officer or someone in the Lands Commission for doing something wrong.
But that's already there. Is that not already there?
Yes.
Show us where to report a police officer or something like that.
No. So I think that there are other laws that takes care of these reports that the texter is complaining about. You don't necessarily need the Right to Information law to be able to do that. There are public codes for public officers that will take care of some misconduct by these officers. But when it comes to matters of access to information, then the Right to Information law has offenses that when these public officers are, compromised, we can take them on in court.
I see. So what kind of people do you have there? What's the organogram? How's the structure? How does it work? So you are the executive secretary. Do you have a deputy? Do you have a board? Who chairs the board?
Okay. So the Right to Information Commission is made up of a 7-member board with a chairperson, a deputy chairperson, and then 4 other members and the executive secretary. So yes, 7
all the 7 appointed by the president?
Yes, appointed by the president. But when the president appoints, he becomes functus officio when it comes to removing you from office. So there is some level of security of tenure that protects you to be able to conduct the work you do without fear or favor. So the processes that it takes to remove a commissioner or a board member of the Right to Information Commission is the same process that it takes to remove a judge from
impeachment
office.
And all those details.
Exactly. Same process. So it's quite...
So they are appointed for what kind of tenure?
It's a 5-year tenure for the members of the board.
I see. That's interesting. And you're looking for all lawyers? Is that how it works?
Not necessarily. We have educationists. We have, some ex-member of parliament. We have a retired high court judge who happens to be our board chairperson.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So,
what ministry do you function under?
We do not function under any ministry. We report directly to Parliament, and we take our funding from the Ministry of Information, Ministry of Finance. So we are not an agency under a ministry. We are an independent constitutional.
You are like Shraj.
Like Shraj.
Yeah, but Shraj sort of comes under the Attorney General's purview, something like that.
No,
they don't.
No,
they are independent.
They are independent.
So like what used to be Serious Fraud Office, which is now Yoko,
is under the Attorney General's department.
Yes. But you are not under.
We are not under any of the ministries.
And the executive secretary is this equivalent to a high court judge. Is that what it is?
I don't.
The
see
Constitution
that.
didn't make any such.
It didn't make such.
Nor did the Act say.
No,
so executive secretary is appointed for a 5-year tenure.
No, the executive secretary is appointed like every public office holder to be retired by 60 years, like every public service holder, under Article 192 of the 1992 Constitution. But every member of the board is appointed under Article 170. That is a different level of an appointment.
So that you can be transferred to another part of public service?
No.
You cannot be transferred?
You cannot be transferred.
Once you're appointed RTI, you are dead till you are 60?
Because that is where you were appointed to.
So you are dead till you are 60?
That is.
Unless by an impeachment process?
Unless
you resign?
I also choose to go away from that organization.
Okay, so in
but
case
as a
your
member
village
of the board, your tenure expires
after 5 years.
After 5 years, and a new board will be reconstituted.
It cannot be renewed.
It can be renewed.
Okay.
It's at the
For one
discretion
time, or
for one more term.
So if your village people say they want you to be member of parliament, that's when you leave. Are you supposed to be non-partisan?
You are supposed to be non-partisan.
So what does that mean?
It means that you can't actively participate in partisan politics because the work you do cuts across all political divides. So you can't
wear a party color.
Yes, but of course, every human being in Ghana has an interest in politics. So, yes, you may have your interest, but the law says while you are doing the work, keep your interest to yourself and be apolitical.
So, if you eventually become a member of parliament for, say, NDC, can we say that, oh, this guy is such a liar? All the time was an NDC guy. He was pretending that he was neutral.
Oh, I think that it's for me. I see it as service to the nation, and anytime you are called upon to participate, you treat it more of the service to the nation than which color you are carrying.
Is your salary good?
I think it's in order.
You like it?
I would have wanted more.
You will do with some more?
Some more, yes.
How many people are in the office? How many people do you work with?
Currently, we have a head office in Accra and 3 other branches across the country. So we have one in the Ashanti region, one in the Bono region, and then one in the Upper East region.
Do people take complaints to those places? Upper
Yes,
East, for instance? What's the nature of the complaints that goes there?
I think in the Upper East, the kind of complaints that we receive are usually to do with information with chieftaincy from the National House of Chiefs. And
they want to know who has been gazetted and who has not been gazetted.
Those kind of things.
Yeah,
but,
okay.
They've been quite responsive from the National House of Chiefs and the Regional House of Chiefs.
Yeah. I see. What will be your last admonition word for us? I have before me the Right to Information Commission, Republic of Ghana, 2023 annual report. This is a good job. You put together this.
Yes, we did.
That's amazing.
Apostle, let me say that book I sent to you as a gift.
Yes.
And I think that there's so much information in there that can...
we are going to cramp it.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to cramp it big time.
One of your texters indicated about some institutions and whether they are giving out information or they are not. I think we have a list of non-compliant institutions for the year 2020.
Non-compliant.
Non-compliant, and this report has been presented to Parliament. If there's more news on right to information and access to information, I think a review of this report will help guide the conversation.
Wow.
And you see institutions that we have listed as non-compliant under the Act.
Are you able to sanction them, non-compliant?
Yes, we are able to sanction them.
Have you done that?
We are going to do that. We are going to do that.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, great. Great. We have no further questions. I think this is a great moment. So when is the event?
1st and 2nd of October.
October here in Accra Conference Center.
Accra, at the Alisa Hotel.
Who is opening it?
Hopefully the President of the Republic of Ghana will be doing the opening.
Okay. Have you invited presidential candidates of election 2024? I'm referring to John Dramani Mahama, former president, NDC, aspirant, as they say we should say, until the Electoral Commission has allowed him. And Mahamadou Bawumia, the aspirant for the NPP. Have you invited
No,
them?
we haven't.
You haven't?
No,
have you invited Mr. Alanche Martin?
No, we haven't.
There's a presidential candidate called Nana Kwame Bediakon. Have you invited
No,
him?
we haven't.
Will you be inviting them?
It's not a political event.
Oh, no, but this is right information. They are leading the narratives. They are leading the conversation. So maybe you want them to come and speak.
I think it's an event in conjunction with UNESCO and the Ministry of Information and the Right to Information Commission. So if it's become necessary that these personnel need to be invited, I'm sure it will be discussed at that
Okay, let's take one text messages, concluding text messages from our people. I start with Ansba again, correct? Okay, Ansba, you first. Concluding text message.
All right, so from Mohammed, he says, please can someone ask, for example, ask for the cause of the death of a president? Sorry, that's what he wants to know.
John Tibila also wants to know if you have regional offices or that all people have to come to Accra to have access to you. Yeah.
All right, so I think that is like it's on the questions about this particular issue. But this one is from Ransfield. He says that it's very ridiculous how the former president perceives Ghanaians to be. You weren't going to introduce free education on the whimsical promise of a desperate politician, but today the same person is promising first-year students that he will pay their fees at their first-year fees at the university. The product of a whimsical promise will now be the proponent of the no-stress policy. Prosperity would be very kind to Nanado. Paul, back to you.
All right, that's it. Commissioner, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
I'm sure there'll be more questions on social media. We'll put up the video. We'll send them to you if there are. Next Tuesday is Premier League stars. We couldn't do... Commissioner, hold on. If you walk in front of the camera and the children will be laughing at you. So it's Manchester United play Fulham tomorrow, Friday. I was grateful to see the Charity Community Shield game in Wembley. It was beautiful. United didn't win, but Garnacho's goal was fantastic, wasn't it? Marcus Rashford had a really bad day. Everybody in the stadium was talking about him when we closed and we were walking away about Marcus Rashford. And they said they should sell him to an Italian club and get some new people. Let's see how the Premier League begins. On Tuesday, Andy will bring us a first report of first week in Premier League. Chelsea play Manchester City on Sunday, the top liner in the English Premier League. Week 1 this weekend. We will have the full report for you on Tuesday. This is Good Evening Ghana. It's a weekend, so take good care of yourself. We meet in church on Sunday and we meet here on Tuesday. Thanks for watching. Good night.
Metro TV, insightful and inspiring moments.
Has Christianity always been one of the religions in the world to you?
Oh, hallelujah. Praise God. Christianity is not a religion, neither is it a joining of a church and doing the Christian things like praying and giving and so on. Hallelujah. Christianity is the outworking of God's own kind of life received into the spirit of a man. Whoa! This divine life in the heart of a man makes him righteous. It keeps him healthy, divinely guided in life, prosperous and victorious. It gives you the ability to enjoy intimate fellowship with the Father and have dominion on this earth. Hallelujah.
Yes, in every generation on the earth, God sends special messengers with unique messages to fulfill His word in their dispensation. Whether through the Emancipator, church services, special conferences like the New Creation Conference, or the Good Life Devotion, carefully listen, watch and read the message of life and of the divinity of the church ministered by Dr. David Bindan, as ordained by God in the scriptures to mature the body of Christ into the full measure of the stature of Christ. Dr. David Bindan, taking us on our journey in Christ into sinlessness, sicklessness, deathlessness, lacklessness, and leaving us manifested sons of God to the glory of our Father. Hallelujah.
Join Dr. David Bindan on the Good Life Devotion every Monday to Friday